Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills with the Website Creation Workshop, and welcome to this call on the simple truth to succeeding online. And my name is Christina Hills, and what I do is I teach people how to build their websites using WordPress. But what we're going to cover today is the big picture overview of the simple truth of building an online business, kind of your ABCs. So it's going to be a simple overview call of how all the pieces fit together. All right, first of all, who am I? This may be the first time you're listening to me, and anytime I listen to a speaker, I kind of like to get an idea of who they are and where they come from. So my background is in Hollywood special effects, and the most famous film I worked on was Star Wars Episode 1, not the ones that came out in the 70s, I'm not that old, the ones that came out in the late 90s, I worked on Episode 1, and it was a fabulous, fabulous career, but I wanted to have my own business and work from home. So I am an online business trainer, and here's some screenshots of different programs I have. I first started out as the shopping cart queen, an expert in the one shopping cart system, and then I moved on to become a trainer in WordPress, teaching people how to build websites. And I love it because I get to have the entrepreneurial lifestyle and get to stay home with my daughter, and that's why I left the Hollywood business, because it was 5-6 days a week, 10, 12-hour days, and I wanted to spend time with my daughter, Maggie, and that's her there. And the great thing about being an entrepreneur is it gives you time to work on creative projects. And that is her and me. She's Alice in Wonderland, and I'm the rabbit. That was a little spoof video we did a few years ago. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about you. So this is you, and you're pretty dang smart. And so taking those smarts, let's build an online business. And my business, my website is the websitecreationworkshop.com. And this is a screenshot from my site a few years ago. And that's me and my daughter doing a different spoof video. She's Dorothy and I'm Glinda, the Good Witch. But what we're talking about today is the big picture of building an online business. And the reason why I like to do this call is the internet is so ephemeral. You can't really touch or hold it. And so it's kind of hard to see all the pieces since you can't touch and hold it. And that's why I'm a big pen and paper kind of gal. So let's think about your website and your business. So your website is really the center of your business, your online presence. And then on the outside are all these other things that you do. So social media, you may go to networking events, sending emails, email marketing, shopping cart. You might have a shopping cart off of your site, or maybe you're a consultant getting started and you have PayPal, but you may have a way on your site for people to pay you. Foot traffic. You may have a yoga studio, and so you're building a site to have people come to your yoga studio or whatever your office is, and or the telephone. You might do a lot of phone-based work, and so you're using your website to generate leads so that people call you for doing phone consultations. All right, let's take a poll. I want to take this poll. Let me find it. Let's launch this poll. Do you have an online business now? Do you currently have an online business? So yes, I have an online business, no, or I'm in the process of building an online business. Some people are typing in, yes, kind of. I mean, some people are transitional, and it's okay where you're at. All right, I think I'll close the poll, and just click on the screen, close the poll, share the results, and somehow they're not showing up on my end, but I'm assuming, Joanna, you're seeing it on your end.
Yes, I can see them.
So 27% yes has an online business, 27% no does not have an online business, and 46% is in the process of building it. So that's a pretty good sampling. And let's go to the next slide. So let's come back to you. So there's you, and you're smart, and you have your website. So what is your website? So your website is your home. And your home has an address. So when you build a website, when you build your online presence, you have a domain name, which is a name that you buy, and then you have web hosting that holds all your files. So buying a domain name doesn't mean you have a website yet. It means you just bought a domain name. And then you need to connect your domain name to your web hosting. So let's say you're thinking of building an online business and you've got a great idea for a domain name. You can go ahead and buy the domain name. You know, I go to GoDaddy. There's lots of places you can go. And that will then reserve your sign. So, you know, your sign is the important real estate, because only you can have a specific domain name. And the way it connects together is your domain name, which you pay like $8 a year, and your web hosting, which you pay, you know, sometimes it's $3 a month, sometimes it's $20 a month, but you hook the two things together. So that is the domain name in relationship to the web hosting. And if you have questions about this, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I can answer questions at the end. So, for example, websitecreationworkshop.com, that is the domain name that I own, and it connects to my site, and this is a screenshot of my site a few years ago. So that's the domain name and the website big picture. Now, your website is viewed in a browser. And browsers let you connect your computer to the internet. So when I teach website building, and this is part of why I put this in this call today, is so that you understand the difference between a browser and a website. So the browser is like the window through that you look at to see your site. And people will view your website in multiple browsers. So here is my website, and this again was my site screenshot I took a while ago. Here's how it looks in Chrome, right? So Chrome is the window through that I view the website. And here's how it looks in Firefox. And here's how it looks in Internet Explorer. And here's how it looks in Safari. So it doesn't really matter what browser you use, as long as you understand that the browser is different from the website. So hopefully that makes sense. And then there's this other browser called Opera, and only internet computer geeks use Opera. Any Opera fans here? Oh, you know what? I've got a question here. So I want you to type into the chat. I won't do a poll for this. What browser do you mainly use? And you can go ahead and type in the question box. We got Firefox, Chrome, Safari. Most Mac people use Safari. Lots of Chrome folks. Safari, Explorer. And I haven't seen any Opera people. Okay, so we got lots of, it's all over the place with Chrome, Safari being the leaders. No, Chrome, Firefox, and then Safari. Okay, I'm going to keep going. All right, so when you build a website, you want to create your site in WordPress. I'm a big WordPress fan, and I want to give you kind of a big picture overview of what WordPress is all about, right? So what is WordPress? WordPress is the software. It is free software, and you install it in your hosting, and that is the foundation, and then you fill it in with these other items, and I'm going to walk through them. The first one is your content, right? So those are your files. It's called the database, which is sort of techy, but your content goes into your site. The next aspect of your website is the design, the look and feel of your site. After that, there is your plugins. So what are plugins? Plugins they're kind of like apps for your phone. The software comes stripped down to the bare engine essentials, and then plugins are extra things you might add to your site. And then the other thing you put into your website is media, pictures, audios, PDFs. So WordPress is made of the software, your content, your information, your theme design, look and feel, any plugins you would add, and they would just add extra bits of software code to get you to get your site to do something specific, and then your media library. So that is what WordPress is. So how do you get your stuff into WordPress? Right? So how do you get it into WordPress? By uploading and downloading. And this is a basic overview. You might be listening and be like, Christina, I already know what uploading and downloading is. But some people don't. So let me just review it, because when I talk to people, they're often using the wrong terminology. And it's really important that you understand the correct terminology, because what happens is when you talk to tech people, if you're going to talk to your hosting company or a web programmer or any kind of tech person, they don't always know that you're not using the right terminology, and you can be having a conversation with a tech person and both of you are having completely different conversations. So let me just clarify. So here's your computer on the ground, and there's the internet up there in the sky, in the cloud. So when you're downloading, things are coming down from the cloud to your computer. And then when you're uploading, things are going from your computer up into the cloud. So for example, let's say you took some pictures with your digital camera, and you then plugged your camera into your computer, and then you uploaded them up into the sky. So that is uploading. You're going up, downloading, you're coming down. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so with WordPress, how do you do things? How do you get your stuff in there? Well, because WordPress lives up in the cloud in your hosting company, you log in. So with WordPress, you'll have a special login screen that lets you log in. And once you log in, then you can edit your pages and update them up in the cloud, right? So you're on your computer, but you're working on your site that's up in the cloud, and then you can view your website online. So that's pretty simple. I'm going to take another poll to see, do you have a website already? So the poll is up. Do you have a website already? Yes, and it's in WordPress. Yes, I have a site, but it's not in WordPress. Yes, but I'm not sure what it is, or I don't have a site yet. So it's okay. Whichever answer you have, you can just click on the screen. We'll show the results in a minute, and I see some people are typing in. If you bought a domain name, that doesn't mean you have a website. It just means you bought a domain name. All right, I think I will close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let me close the poll and share the results. 42% have a site and it is in WordPress. 24 have one, but it is not a WordPress site. 4% are not sure, and 31% don't have a site yet. Okay, so let's talk more about building your online infrastructure. So remember this image I showed at the beginning, your website in the center, and then all this other activity happening in the world around your website? Well, I want to focus now on email marketing and e-commerce, shopping carts. So that's what I'm going to focus on next. And first I'm going to focus on email marketing and building an email list. All right, so we're going to talk about building an email list, and I am going to go over this diagram. So you should be able to see this diagram in front of you, and let's review it. So part of building an online business is building an email list. And email marketing is very popular. It's very, what's the right word? Some people years ago said that email marketing was dead. And I knew email marketing was never going to die because you go to Amazon, you buy stuff, and then you're looking for your receipt in your email. So in terms of marketing and having an online business, email marketing is very important. So let's talk about the process. So somebody comes to your site, and the terminology is a prospect. So a prospect is someone who's visiting your site. They've not yet bought from you. And they see your opt-in offer, they enter their name and email, and they hit submit, or they click. As soon as they click, they get to an opt-in thank you page. At the same time that they do that, their name and email goes into either your shopping cart account or your email marketing system, whatever system you have to collect names and emails. And then the system will automatically send out an autoresponder, so that's an email message, to the person who's opted in. So they may send one message or a series of messages. That's why you see this series of messages here. So when someone visits your site and they opt in, now they're an email subscriber of yours, right? They've said, yes, I'm interested and I'm opting in. Just like you did today to get to this call, you opted in and got a message and now are part of my subscriber base. So let's talk a little bit more about email marketing and opt-ins. So here's an example of an opt-in page. This is a standalone page, sometimes called a landing page or a squeeze page. This kind of an opt-in page doesn't have any menus, or it only has one thing you can do. So it doesn't have any distractions, right? There's one thing you can do is opt in. And see the little arrows are leading you to this one thing. You can also have an opt-in on your site. So I have that same opt-in, but I have it in my right sidebar. And I just recently changed my theme, so this is my new theme design, and I have the same opt-in on this new theme design. So I have standalone pages, but I also put it on my main site, my main blog. And once somebody opts in, then they get to a thank you page. So sometimes the thank you page says, go check your email, and sometimes the thank you page actually, what I call, delivers the goodie. So here's a close-up of that. The thank you page has a downloadable opt-in goodie. So the goodie is what is your market interested in? What do they want, and what are you giving them in exchange for opting in? And in this instance, it's a PDF. So think about it. What is your opt-in goodie? What is it that you have that people would want to opt in for? So some ideas are you're going to give them a video, or you're going to give them a checklist, or some kind of PDF, or maybe an audio, or maybe a mind map or a process map, or resources, or maybe you're giving them some kind of software, some kind of tool. There's lots of different things people can opt in for. So that is the email marketing component of building your online business. So let's now move to talking about selling your products and services from your site. So I just talked about the big picture overview of email marketing. Now I'm going to talk about the big picture overview of selling on your site. So we're working on this section. So here's my other diagram. Hopefully you can see this, of how a product is sold online. So let's go through this again, and this is a little bit different than the opt-in process, but it's somewhat similar. So somebody visits your website and they find a product for sale or a program. So it could be your consulting product or program for sale. They click the Buy Now and they're taken to a shopping cart online order form. And that's where they put in their name and their email and their address and their credit card information. Then as soon as they hit click, they get to the post-purchase thank you page. So wherever you're going to lead them once they've bought. So it could be if you're selling an ebook, maybe it's the download. If you're selling consulting, maybe it's information for scheduling a consulting call. And what I do is I build online members areas. So after you've purchased, you get to the online members area. So this is what the customer is experiencing, right? At the same time, see number 4? Their info is going up into either PayPal, if you're using PayPal, or a merchant account. A merchant account is kind of a funny bank account, and it's a way for you to accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. So the money goes into your money account, and their information that they've put in goes into your shopping cart account database. So you've now collected that information from the customer. They just bought you. They've become your customer. And now they're getting an email receipt and any follow-up autoresponders. So what's a little bit different about this is the autoresponders, the email messages that they're getting, is now the ones you'd be sending to customers. So you want to think in your mind when you're building your online business is you're going to have a series of messages for prospects, and then when somebody buys from you, you'll have a series of messages for your customers. So you now have customers and you have prospects. You can have it all in one system, but they're separated out. All right, so let's talk about a sales letter. Did I say sales letter over here? Okay. So a sales letter is a page on your site, and this was from my fall website creation workshop class. This was the registration page, so it's called a sales letter. A sales letter generally is a page on your site where you're only selling one thing. And it's not like Amazon where you're buying lots of things. It's not like a store. You're selling one thing. So you're selling a course or one book or a coaching program. And at the bottom of the sales letter, this is at the bottom. So this was a long sales letter. And then here at the bottom, there are two choices. Even though you have two choices, you're still just selling one product. Because the person's either going to pick the pay in full or they're going to pick a payment plan if you offer a payment plan. So this is on your site, right? This is the registration page on your site. Let me just back up. We're at step number 1. Okay, they're on the site. Then, when they click, now they're getting to an online order form. So this is a secure order form. And technically, when you click and get to a secure order form, you've gone off of my site to my shopping cart page. But the process is seamless, and this is why I have my logo at the top, the picture of me, and my color scheme so it matches. So when you click to purchase, you get to an order form like this, and this is where you enter your name and email. Going back to this step 2. I hope I'm not moving my screens too fast. Then the thank you page is the members area. And I don't have an example of it here, but when you sign up for the website creation workshop, there's a couple of in-between pages you get to, but the thank you page lands you into my members area. And my members area is a password-protected area where I have all my training, all my resources, everything goes there. So what kind of product do you want to create? So we're talking about selling online, products or programs. You want to choose your product or program format. Now you don't have to use all of these, but this is an idea if you want to sell online, what format you're going to deliver in. So there is your content of what you are, your expertise. But then how are you going to give your expertise? Are you going to give it in videos? Are you going to give it in PDFs? Are you going to give MP3 audios, checklists, digital downloads, community forums, live webinars? I like live webinars, as you can tell. Teleseminars. So teleseminars a little different from a webinar. Teleseminars audio only. Resources, Rolodexes, mind maps, software and tools. So as you're building your online business and you're thinking about selling online, you want to think about what modality, what format do you want to give it in. What I do, I tend to hit all of these because different people have different learning styles. So in my program, you get videos, you get PDFs, MP3s, checklists. We've got a community forum. I do live webinars, sometimes teleseminars, resources. I do have a mind map. Software and tools, I don't do that. I'm not in the software tools business. But you don't have to do all of these. Okay, if you're starting out, don't think, oh my God, Christina, how am I going to do all that? You don't have to. Pick the format that's right for you. All right. Question, how do you like to learn? And I don't know if I have, Joanna, do we have a poll for this one?
No, not for this one.
So, what method do you like to learn? Do you like watching videos? So just type in the chat box. Do you like watching videos? Do you like reading PDFs? Do you prefer live webinars? Like, just type in the chat and let me know. Patty says she likes videos. Jackie is by doing. I forgot to mention that. Live webinars, videos. Live with visuals. Oh boy, we got a lot. Classroom training, PDFs, videos and transcripts. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, let me just back this up. I didn't mention doing, and that's kind of a key thing to my training, because in my training we actually do it together. So, Joanna, make a note for me to add this in next time. The sort of doing it. Learn by doing. Okay, so what do you need to, and thank you everybody for typing it in. What do you need to sell directly online? And let me sit here on this so that you can write this down. So in order to sell online, you need a website. You need a product or a program, right? So you've got to come up with a product or a program. You need some kind of shopping cart system. You need, and that's a way for people to safely put in their credit card and their name and their address, etc. You need a payment processor. So you need a way to process the money. So that would either be a merchant account or PayPal or some kind of payment system. So the shopping cart, and sometimes these are combined. So the shopping cart is a web page on the internet that will accept the credit card, and then the payment processor processes the card. Okay, so just think of when you go to the grocery store and you're buying groceries and you swipe your credit card and the little machine goes dee 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 dee, is processing the money, and then it comes back with a yes, it's been processed. You need an email system, and then if you're selling physical products, you're going to want to have a fulfillment house, someone who's going to actually package up and ship out those products. You could do it yourself, but it's a lot easier to have a fulfillment house do it, and they don't charge that much. The company I use charges $3 for the handling of it. It really saves you a lot of time. If you're not doing physical products, you need a method to deliver digital products. So a method to give them what they've bought. So let's keep it simple. Let's say you're a consultant or a coach and you're selling your one-on-one coaching. Your method of delivery is really the phone number and the calling you. But I like building membership sites, and I use WordPress. So there's many different ways you can deliver it. But this big picture overview, these are the big chunks that you need. So if you're not selling physical products, then you don't need a fulfillment house. And if you're not doing digital, you don't need that. So these are the big chunks. Let me go to getting people to visit your site. That's called traffic. All right. Traffic, traffic's sort of an ugly word because traffic is people. It's you and me. It's us going to places. So, but it's called traffic. That's the term. So traffic is getting people to come to your site, right? So these are the arrows in. People are coming to your site, and earlier I had like arrows going out, people from your site going somewhere else. So social medias bring people to your site. Networking, handing out business cards will get people to come to your site, and sending emails with a link back to your site. That's how this, and I don't have advertising in here, but getting people to your site, that is getting traffic. So let's focus on the social media part. What's great about social media is it's free. It's free to market on social media. Now you can pay and maybe we'll get better results, but you can definitely get started for free. And so I love social media, and I think it's a great way to get people to your site because some people they hang out in certain places. So we've got people who are on Facebook, Google Plus, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and there's many others. So, question: are you active on social media? Are you active? And let's see if I have a poll for this. Oh, I don't see a poll for this. All right, so you can just type in, are you active on social media? Well, I think I'll skip because I want to move along because I want to have more time. So, don't have a poll. Next time we'll have a poll. Let me go to the next question. Oh, we're almost at the end. Good, because I want to be able to answer a lot of questions, and I see people are typing in that some are active, some are not so active. So, an online business allows you to make money while you're playing, which is great. If you own a store, somebody has to be there, like a physical store. But if you've got an online business, it can be running 24/7. So that's me, my husband, and my daughter at Disneyland. Having an online business gives you more time for family and also lets you donate either your time or your money to nonprofits. And this is my daughter. She's really into acting, and this was a play she was in. Also, having an online business lets you spend more time on other creative projects. So here are some stills from Little Red Riding Hood, where we all dressed up and shot this little spoof of Little Red Riding Hood. And there's my daughter and my husband. Here's us from Alice in Wonderland. Here's another Alice in Wonderland shot. There's my daughter and me. Little Red Riding Hood. So I want to let you know that my winter 2016 website creation workshop class is going to be starting soon. It's going to be starting next week. So you're going to want to watch your email for registration, and I will be doing another live webinar just on WordPress where I'll be going deeper into that. All right, I think I am ready for questions.
Okay. We had someone, Wendy was asking, can you share with us which fulfillment house you use?
Yes, I use Speaker Fulfillment Services for sending out physical products. Speaker Fulfillment Services, and you want to talk to Brett.
Okay, and Jen was asking, do you have to have a shopping cart system? Can't one just put in a link to PayPal?
You don't have to have a shopping cart system, and should I back up? Let's see, I can back up. Let me get back, close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. Let me get here. You can just have PayPal, but what I want to say is if you keep in mind the different components, at some point you may want to upgrade and get something fancier than just PayPal. But you can't see PayPal is sort of its own animal. It's kind of a shopping cart, but it also is the merchant account. The problem with PayPal is when people buy on PayPal, PayPal won't give you all of the customer info. So it doesn't help you build a database. It's not building an email database. So yes, you can, and it's something I recommend for people getting started. It's a good way to get started.
Okay, and Pauline was asking, for my website offers, do you recommend gradually increasing offers as they are prepared, or should I have 3 or 4 offers available before I start to make offers?
I think you should make offers as soon as possible. So that's what I would do. See, some people wait too long. They're like, well, I'll wait until I have it all together and then I'll put it up. My attitude is get your site up, get your offers up, because you're going to learn stuff. By putting out offers, you're going to learn things. So when I first started the website creation workshop, I was the shopping cart queen, and I realized people needed website help. So I was like, okay, well, why don't I run this little class teaching people how to do WordPress? And the first time I did it, I didn't have a sales letter. I just had a product in my shopping cart. I didn't have anything. And by running it, I was like, wow, this is a good program. And then I continued to develop it.
Okay, and then Jody was asking, how can you use the opt-in goodie when you sell high-end physical goods?
High-end physical goods. Okay, she wants to know, what could I do for an opt-in goodie for selling high-end physical goods? Okay, so let's say, for example, you're selling some high-end furniture or something like that. You could have a free report, 10 things you should know before you buy anything from IKEA, or 10 things you should know before you buy anything from discount furniture stores. So you can write a report or tips or some kind of PDF that will help people in the buying process for buying high-end stuff. So, and that will also go for service providers. If you're a plumber, you could have opt-ins for, how to keep your drains clear so you never have to hire a plumber. So there's just brainstorm a bit, and you'll come up with some ideas that people could opt in for.
Okay, and then Sharon was asking about how opt-ins work on mobile devices.
It depends upon your site and your theme, but the opt-in should work on a mobile device. I personally never opt in from a mobile device, so it's like if I see something I'm interested in and I'm on mobile, I'll go to my regular computer. But if you've got an opt-in form there, it should work if your site is set up for mobile. And if you're interested, my training next week on when we go deeper into WordPress, I'm going to talk about mobile then.
Okay, and then Jennifer was asking, and I think you already covered this, what is the cheapest, simplest way to handle a shopping cart?
I would say PayPal.
Okay.
The cheapest way. And I just want to make a comment. PayPal is free. You only pay if a sale is made, and I think they take about 3% commission. So if your product's $100, I think they're going to take about $3. But every business owner should have a PayPal account. Whether or not you have it on your site, you're going to have instances where somebody wants to pay you. So if, let's say, you want to do a consult, you can say to somebody, here's my PayPal address, go and send me the PayPal money now and we can do our consultation. So PayPal, all businesses should have PayPal.
Okay, and then Janesse was asking, can you please give a couple example of autoresponders? Are they free?
Autoresponders is part of, and I can stay on this screen. An autoresponder would be part of an email marketing system, and some are free and some are paid. A good free one that I know of is MailChimp, and so I've used MailChimp. I use Aweber currently. There's lots of different email marketing systems, but it's an online system that keeps a database of your email subscribers. So like for this call, after this call is done, I'm going to email out to everybody the replay. So you'll get a link to where you can listen to the replay. So you should use, when you're building an online business, you should not just hand email people. You should have an email marketing system.
Okay, and then Chris was asking, can Amazon be the payment and fulfillment house for physical products? For example, sending the prospect to Amazon from your website?
Absolutely. So let's say you're an author and you're selling a book, and that's the only thing you have for sale. Uh, Send them to Amazon. You can go to Amazon and you can get an Amazon Associates account, so you'll get a tiny, tiny little commission when a sale is made. You're not going to make a ton of money off of it, but it's a kind of a nice thing to have. So yeah, you can definitely use Amazon.
Okay, and then Patricia was asking if you could explain the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com.
I'm going to cover that next week. So watch your email for registration for the webinar next week, because I go deep into that then.
Okay, and then we had several people asking if you could repeat what fulfillment service you use.
Let's just type it into the chat. Speaker
Okay.
fulfillment. Speaker fulfillment services. Speaker fulfillment services.
Okay. And then Tara was asking, what are the main considerations in choosing web hosting?
What are the main considerations in choosing web hosting? Do they have phone support if you want phone support? Do they have live chat? Do they have email support? Does your web hosting have email? Do you need an email? So like Christina at websitecreationworkshop.com, that's an email address. And so you want to get hosting that will include an email system. And just, I focus more on customer support. So, and I don't want to go into too many more details, but in general, here's my attitude when you're getting hosting. Get the bare bones and you can add stuff later. Like, I had a client who told me she got hosting and the bill was $500, and I'm like, what did you pay for? And she like kept clicking and adding on all this stuff. And I was like, no, don't pay for all that. Just get the minimum, and then as you build your site, add these other features. I don't think you need it right away. The only thing I would recommend right away is domain privacy. Domain privacy. So why is that? When you register a domain name, they're going to ask you your address, and that information becomes public. So if you pay the $5 for domain privacy, it will keep that private.
Okay, and then Patty was asking, what is the benefit, if any, for a merchant account over PayPal?
Great question. So if you are doing a high volume, so if you're doing a low volume, PayPal is great. But if you're doing a high volume and you can get a merchant account that only takes out, 1.5% versus 3%, and you're selling $10,000 a month, 3% is a lot of $10,000 a month versus 1.5%. So a merchant account makes sense as your sales volume goes up.
Okay. And then Rachel was asking, I'm curious about the opt-in program you use. Is that a plugin you add? I know about Infusionsoft, but that is out of my range right now.
Okay, so Infusionsoft is one system. I use Marketer's Choice, which is a version of the One Shopping Cart system. What was her question again? Tell me her question again. I just lost it out of my brain.
Yes, I'm curious about the opt-in program you use. Is that a plugin you add?
Oh, I use Aweber. So it is And is it a plugin? Okay. Let me see if I can back up. So don't get too dizzy as I back up. So my website is on WordPress. And on WordPress, I have an opt-in box. I am using Aweber. They have plugins for Aweber. You could also use MailChimp or Infusionsoft or iContact. There's lots of different email marketing companies you can use. So you can just go and do the research on that. This call's about kind of the big picture, not which ones to buy, but sort of the big picture. You get a system and then you hook it together. So with a plugin, you can get it on your site. Once they opt in, the thank you page is generally also on your site. The series of emails that go out, you write them, then you log into your email marketing system, and then you plug them in. So day 1, they get this email. Day 2, they get this email. And then don't send them another email till day 7. So that is how this works.
Okay. We have a lot of questions about shopping carts. They're asking, which one do you use? Which one do you recommend? What's good for beginners, for more advanced, a whole bunch of different questions.
Yeah, and I wasn't prepared to go into that kind of detail on today's call, and I wanted to keep it to an hour. So that's a good idea to do a call just on shopping carts. But let's see, I think I can put in, I'll put this into the chat, marketerschoiceonline.com. That's my affiliate link for Marketer's Choice, which is one shopping cart. But you don't have to use that. There's lots of different systems.
Okay, and Patty was asking a question about your program. She says, how many weeks is your program, and is there a time limit in how fast you have to complete your website?
The details about my program will come out next week, but I can tell you it's an 8-week live training. So it's an 8-week live training program with an online members area, and then after the 8 weeks, you can go through it at your own pace. And my programs are year programs, so you have a year to go through it. But all of those details will come next week when I mail out about the webinar I'm going to do just on WordPress. In that webinar, I'll do live demos. So today I've been showing PowerPoint and answering questions. But next week, when I do, and I think it's on Thursday, I will be doing a live call with PowerPoint and then live demos. So I'll go in, I'll build a page, I'll change themes, I'll show you stuff on mobile, and I can't remember everything that I'm doing, but that'll be next week. This week was big picture.
Okay. And then we had Kimberly was asking, if we build a WordPress site, do we have to have a separate shopping cart, merchant, autoresponder, email system, etc., or can they all be tied up into WordPress or something else?
They can be. Can they all be just in WordPress? They tend to be different systems. Now, you could get an all-in-one inclusive system like Infusionsoft, but they're really expensive. So what is important, let me see where I can, let me move. What's important is if you've got this list, this is like big picture. If you have this list, then you'll know, okay, I need to do this, then I need to do this. You'll have something to kind of check off. So you may decide, I'm going to get my, and this should have had, email system. So maybe your email system is going to be separate from your shopping cart system. See, if you've got this big picture, then you can sort of fill in the holes. What do you need next? Hopefully that made sense. I like it better when I have visuals.
Okay.
Let's go back to this.
Sharon was asking if GoDaddy is used to build a site, can it be transferred to WordPress?
If you used an old GoDaddy, site builder, you can rebuild it as a WordPress site. So yes, you can.
Okay. Chris was asking, you have recommended several hosting companies, but not HostGator. Is HostGator okay?
On my site, let me break away for a moment here and go to my website. Okay, so here is my site, and websitecreationworkshop.com, and that takes you /blog. Here on resources on my site are different hosting companies that I recommend. And then my link for the shopping cart and Aweber and MailChimp. Oh, I should have given this before. Okay. I do recommend HostGator. I just happen to like a couple of others better. So if you've got HostGator and you're happy and there's no problem, there's no reason to change.
Okay, and I know we're past time.
Yeah, so I want to mention that, and I don't have it up yet, so here's my site, and I changed this over the holiday break, and now I have various different blog posts on the home page, but my registration for the winter website creation workshop is going to start next week, and we will be doing a live webinar where I'll be doing demos and PowerPoints and going into more details about WordPress. So you'll definitely want to watch your email and sign up for that. All right, you know what? I think we'll end it here to keep it short and concise. So I know there were tons of questions. If you didn't get your question answered, we've had so many people on this call, so apologies for not having your question answered. You can send an email to support@websitecreationworkshop.com, and we will try to get you your answer. Your answers might be, we're doing a free webinar to answer that next week. So anyhow, let my team know. Again, my name is Christina Hills, and let's see, did I have any closing polls? I think we'll just end it here. Okay. My name is Christina Hills. Looking forward to encountering you again, either on email or social media or in my training program. Watch your email for the replay for this if you want to listen to it again, and information about registering for next week. Again, the support email is support@websitecreationworkshop.com. My name is Christina Hills. Thank you to everybody on my team, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.